everyone, this is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com. Today I'm here to show you how to install an automated DIY drip irrigation system for your outdoor planters. Now this is a really great idea. I know me, during the summer months I really dread getting up and having to hand water all of my annual flowers before the sun hits them. So this is a great way to do this. You can actually set this on an automated timer so it goes off even before you wake up, which is really the ideal time to water all of these plants and get all of their roots super saturated before the sun hits them. So here's the kit that I'm using for today's project. This is really great because you can go directly to my website, go to the commentary below this video and follow the link and you can purchase it right there, or you can go to the things I use page and click through and find it on that page as well. So either way you do it, the great thing is this is only going to take a pair of scissors to install. It's all you need on your own. Everything else is included in the kit. So what I have here is some 1/2-inch tubing. It's 50 feet long. It's going to act as the main trunk in this system. To that, we can also add some 1/4-inch tubing. This is the tubing that we're going to use to actually access every single planter that I have. I have 17 to go, so what I've also done is I've purchased separately some extra 1/4-inch tubing in a brown color that'll more match my patio stones and make it kind of seamlessly go away. So the kit also comes with this accessory pack. The accessory pack comes with 24 individual drippers. So the drippers are the things that you're going to put in every single individual pot, so you're ready to go for 24 planters. But if you need more accessories, this system is completely customizable. That's what I love about it. You can actually purchase more drippers, sprayers that spray at an angle, sprayers that spray far. So no matter what your situation is, you are going to be able to accomplish it with this kit. Now I'm at my outdoor spigot and I have a manifold here that allows me to connect up to 4 hoses. I'm using one on the outside and I have here attached an automatic timer. What gets attached to the automatic timer is the piece that makes all of this work. This is the pressure regulator. The pressure regulator is the thing that allows all of those little drip ends to have the perfect amount of water dripping out so that you don't get too much and you don't get too little. So this is the thing, the magic that makes all of it work. This gets attached directly onto the timer, and you can see I have some pipe tape on here from the last system that I had, and I'm just going to screw this on nice and tight. Then comes the backflow preventer. This is really important too. It's going to make sure that it doesn't backflow into your timer and ruin the system. And then this is the hose adapter that allows for you to push that 1/2-inch tubing in here and become a nice tight seal. So this gets attached directly to the backflow preventer. Now these are all hand tightened at this point, so let's go get the 1/2-inch tubing. And this is really important to do this on a nice sunny day because I have all of the tubing laid out in the sun. It's going to make it much more flexible and pliable to get this job done easily. I'd like to show you how easy it is to cut through this 1/2-inch tubing with just a simple pair of scissors. Just like that, nice and straight along that edge. And it's just as easy to insert the tubing into a connector piece, so you're just going to go ahead, line everything up and press it in place. Perfect. So in order to run along the foundation, I have that adapter piece, I have a 4-inch piece of 1/2-inch tubing, and then I have a T, one that's going to run to the right and one that's going to run to the left. There's also a straight piece, so if you only need to go in one direction, go ahead and install that straight piece and you can continue on just in one direction. The right-hand trunk that I've laid out here is laying along the foundation. I'm going to end it at that brick, and then I'm going to take one of these little connector pieces. It's actually going to close the system shut. We don't install this until the very end, until we flush out the system. And now I'm just laying it out temporarily and see how far I get with this. And this is actually going to work out perfectly. So the kit comes with 3 stakes like this that holds the 1/2-inch pipe in place. I'm going to be burying this underneath the mulch when I'm done, but I'm just going to hold this in place temporarily for now so that nothing gets trapped in the ends of the 1/2-inch pipe and collects dirt. So I'm going to be running some of that 1/4-inch tubing right in this little crevice right here. I'm going to be punching through that 1/2-inch tubing with this tool that comes with the kit. Then I'll be inserting a barb like this. So this barb right here actually has a hole. You can see that. The water's going to flow through there. So the 1/4-inch tubing is going to go right onto that barb. It's going to make a really beautiful seal. And the punch, I'm just going to do this on the back side of this tubing. I'm going to punch it in pretty easily. It doesn't take much force at all. And then So this just gets placed directly into that hole so it's well seated. So you have to hear a click. So now that it's clicked in place, water will not flow around that area. I have the end sitting in here. It really helps sometimes to have this little piece lubricated. It's a lot easier to go into the 1/2-inch pipe than it is to put this on top of the barb. So now that it's been sitting in some hot water, it'd be a little easier to twist this in place and get it seated really well. And now I'm just going to run this along the perimeter of the house, trying to get this to be as much hidden as possible. Now that I'm up to the first planter, I'm going to place a T in the line so that way I can continue on, go up to this one planter and continue on to the other planter. So I think it's going to be inconspicuous right about here. So I'll cut this line and I'll go ahead and I'll insert one of these T's. So this is what this looks like. I can go ahead, insert that into a little bit of water, make this a little easier to install. Press that into place. Then take another line on the top edge of this T and I'll wet that as well and press that into place. And then I'll get a rough measurement on how long it needs to be to get to the planter and go ahead and trim that. You can see how well hidden the brown is against any foliage like this. What I'm going to do at this point, I can go ahead and trim this just a little bit more because I want this dripper to actually be located in the very center of this planter. So with this kit, most of the drippers that you receive are black. These are 1 gallon per hour drippers. There's 1 2 gallon per hour dripper and 2 red 4 gallon per hour drippers. So depending on the size of your planters, mine are really small. I'm sticking all with black, but if you have very large planters that might require extra water for those plants, feel free to use the colored versions. And I'll repeat the procedure for every single pot. And since the kit only comes with a few of this type of stake, I purchased a few extra in this style to hold all of the piping into the potted plants. So you can get creative here with the way that you need to manage all of your T's. So instead of continuing on this way, I flipped it this way so that I could get up into the pot and then continue on up into this planter. So this dripper represents the end of this line. I'm going to go back in the line, cut a little area, and continue on so I can make it all around the yard. I even managed to put a small stake into the crevice of the patio to keep that in place over time. So for this, right where I had that little stake, I've gone ahead and inserted a T so that I can continue on right in front of this step and have all of this hidden right in this crevice. And then I'll tee off to the next pot. Well, this leg of the system is completely done. And while it might be easy to understand how I jump from one pot to the other on this side, I have 2 pots over here that are connected to the same leg. So I'm going to take you on a bumpy ride and show you exactly how I ran the line. Now that we understand exactly how to put this system together, I'm going to repeat the process on this side. And you can see the line on the driveway. I'm taking advantage of that. There's a little crack there. I'm going to stick that 1/4 inch line so I can get out to my pots that are over there. I'm at a point here with this line already where I'd like to interrupt the line. Not only do I have a planter here, I also have a planter way down there that I'd like to water, and I'd like to put in a series of T's. So the problem is that I'm already out of T's with this system, so on my website I will also include little packages of T's in case you have more planters that you'd like to water as well. Well, I ran the line all the way down that crevice, all the way to this pot, so I got really lucky with this. And so I'm going to give you another bumpy ride at this point. I have my connectors in here. I've run the line all in this crevice. I've cleaned it out pretty well. It's in there nice and secure because I've gone ahead and I've put in stakes every once in a while. So, you know, there's one there, and we're going to go ahead and put a few in come around the edge, and I've neatened this up a little bit here, so you have to get really creative sometimes. I have 5 pots left. I have 4 teas. That's all I need because the last pot is going to end with a dripper. So I also am running out of line, and I'm going to go ahead and put 2 sections together with these little connectors, these little straight connectors here. This is a great idea. In case you make a mistake when you cut, you can always repair with one of these little connectors. So there's the end of that 1/2 inch line. I'm going to turn the water on now, and I'm just going to flush out that system, making sure that everything is going to be out of that line as far as any debris that might have gotten in there during the whole setup process. So this is the mechanism that closes off the ends of the 1/2 inch pipe. I'm just going to slide one side over the top of that pipe as far down as I can get it, and then I'm just going to fold this over, and it's just going to create a crimp. So once I have that crimp, I can go ahead, slide this back on, slide it up as far as I can get it, and that is how you seal off the end and make sure that no water is going to leak. The last thing you need to do is check the system for leaks. So if you find one, turn the system off, refit those connections, and then turn it back on and retest. In my entire system, I only had 1 leak, and that's pretty incredible for 17 pots and all the connections that I made. For the time frame, you can expect a morning or an afternoon. This does not take an entire day, especially if you only have 17 pots or less. And you know what? You're going to get a little extra sleep as a result of this because you don't have to get up first thing in the morning to water your annual flowers. So I hope you enjoyed watching this project. I love having this system installed in my house, and if you know someone that can benefit from this too, please share this video, like, subscribe, and follow. I would so appreciate it. And remember, you can get this system on my website, ReneeRomeo.com. And this is Renee Romeo. Thank you so much for watching this DIY drip irrigation system project.